This is called Slavers in the Silver Pass. A group of renegade slaves has set up mining camps in the Silver Pass, a trade route where the mining of the large silver deposits has been made illegal to prevent war between the two cities. What two cities? You have been tasked with disrupting the operations at the mining camp and promised 10% of the spoils. So there's the setup, right? So I'm going to say it doesn't entirely make sense to me. Usually cities wouldn't want to disrupt, say there's silver in the pass, two different creature or two different settlements want access to the silver. They don't want to fight each other. I just feel like if you had a valuable resource like that, one of the cities is gonna just try to conquer the other one. But let's assume that nothing says renegade slaves are the bad guys. That's bold. That is a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them. So we have a couple things. We have somehow these two governments, these two agencies, these two cultures have a valuable deposit there in between them. Other than, I think in Earth history, I can't imagine that being there, and those two cultures would not have just fought each other until one of them won. But in this case, they've decided, nope, the silver is not enough for us to go to war, and now nobody else can grab it either. These renegade slaves have set up pass. They call it slavers in the maybe they're slavers. They're not the slaves. They are slavers. Potentially maybe the slavers are using slaves to work their mine. Elfbait says, seems the cities would more than likely make a pact or fight over it. Yes. Right. That's what I would think. Or they had another way to do this that might be a little bit less, maybe make a little more sense to me anyway, is that the two cities were working the mines in conjunction and having to do so in a way that was very disarmed, because they want to keep everybody feeling safe, right? So they say, we're going to work the mine together. We'll split the proceeds. We're not going to have a lot of soldiers and things there because we want to keep the level of hostilities low. But then maybe something happens and some slavers come in, and because those two cities are both trying to keep the area clear of their military forces, that makes a little bit of a vacuum. The slavers have filled the vacuum. They don't want to get into an arms race, because if one side sends a bunch of military over to take care of the slavers, the other side's going to feel compelled to do the same, and it's going to do that. So they're trying to bring in a third party, an outside party, an impartial party, which is the player characters' PCs, the player characters, to come in and solve it for them. That to me is maybe a little bit of a more sensible setup to me. Of course, your miles may vary. It's fine. You could probably not even get that far. You could really just say, slavers took over a mine in this pass. Go fix it, right? You don't really, the backdrop of the two cities is nice, but you really don't even need it. Skip nothing. Jackhole says, hello, Jackhole. Maybe the city's mining a mountain from opposite sides. That way the tunnels could meet and battles could be fought underground. Yep. That is another way that's absolutely something else they could do. Nothing says, that's a great plot. Well, thank you, Nothing. I'm assuming you're talking about me. If you're saying something good, I'm just going to assume it's about me. So thank you very much. Of course, thanks to this original Redditor for putting this together. So we've got 12 rooms. And I do like the map, the whiteout, using the whiteout for white, at least I think it's whiteout, is pretty clever. There's some kind of slave bond. A fast cowbell makes it shrink. All right, I'm not sure what that is, but I think these are clearly slavers, right? And the poor slaves are giants, actually, which is cool. And apparently there are rust monsters about. So we've got, it looks like 3 different types of enemies here. Enforcers, guards, and watchers. We've got some X's here. I can't read, but I guess these are kind of pseudo magic items. There's a slave, I think I see. So I think the one thing here is this could really use, I mean, it's really visual, which is great, but some of the details are lost in this, right? So there's these slave bonds. It looks like, I'm guessing these are rings. In the giant picture, is that the rings that are around his feet and arms? It would make more sense if it was around the neck. given that you're going to, I'm guessing, it seems to me that the cowbell, if they were to ring the cowbell, then that shrinks the bond. I feel like if you're going to incapacitate somebody, the neck is the best place to put it. But if it's not like it wouldn't hurt your arm and your arm and leg. And there's also a trumpet, which brings out the rust monsters. You know what? I was reading this wrong. So what you're supposed to do with these room descriptions, you don't go through them in order, even though it looks like you could. Well, the 1 to 2 doesn't really work that well, but you're supposed to roll some dice. So these are kind of geomorphs. You get a little set of geomorphs to generate your dungeon, and you get some tunnels. That's cool. And then you roll a d6 to see what's happening. Let's see. So then what's happening? Some giants slam wrecking balls into the left side. Is that wall? Cracks suggest cave might collapse. They are spurred on by an enforcer. This is what's in the cave. So once you generate your caves, I guess you can roll in advance or potentially as the players are moving through the caves. You get an empty cave. You get the cave with the giants. You get some more giants. You get rust monsters, cave-ins. That's cool. Let's see. Maybe Jackal says, maybe make the cities mining a mountain from opposite sides. I already read that one. Let's see. Terrence. Hi, Terrence. Got a fever and you think you know the cure. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is rife for some cowbell humor. Elpate says it would make more sense for there to be some sort of active conflict between the two. Sabotage, raids, banditry. Yeah, I think you could do that. I think it really depends on the nature of the adventure. You could definitely put the cities, their conflict in kind of a hot, right? We have a sort of, or maybe more of a Cold War type of thing with each of them infiltrating it, doing things that way. Do the slavers work for one side or the other, and they are a cover for one of those cities to take control? Are the two cities operating in good faith and they just got stuck in the middle or just these slavers were able to insert themselves between them? There's a lot of interesting things to do. I really like the art and stuff here. It just could use, I feel like with a lot of this stuff, and of course, look, this is just somebody posting, and I will post this in the chat if folks want to go grab it, use it as a inspiration for their own. It's air in the chat. Please take it with my compliments. It's a nice idea. It could use a little bit of, I feel like this should be like a first draft, right? Go through, give it another read, see about cleaning it up, maybe bring it into a digitally so you can maybe I don't know. I don't even know if you can do it. Cause I really like the fact that it's handmade, but it could use a touch more love, but nice work.